welcome my friends and colleagues there outside at your Facebook. My name is Marco and I'm a Master Dental Technician working at Zirkonzahn. I'm mostly a trainer and an expert in the digital part and the manual workflows. And you have the opportunity today to know more about the company Zirkonzahn. My idea is to present you the company itself and a lot of new features and software and hardware we invented in the past month. And of course our title is Zirkonzahn's Software, Hardware and Smart Solutions we created here inside our Valley of Knowledge. What is the Valley of Knowledge? I mean, we are based here in Italy in South Tyrol and we are surrounded by mountains, and the company itself, it's based in a valley, and we build up a lot of facilities like our headquarters, our dental laboratory and our production center here in that valley. And also really special is what I want to show you really in details are our education centers as well. Okay, when you're excited, I am excited. Let's start with that, and yeah, enjoy. Here we go. So, welcome to the Valley of Knowledge from Zirkonzahn. Our homeland and culture give us the strength. The inventor and the creator of Zirkonzahn is born here in this valley, and his philosophy and his mindset is based here in that valley and comes from this valley. So everything is built up those kind of philosophy, and we have different values. We have a lot of we have trust. Trust not only really important is trust for us, of course, inside the company. We have to work together. We have to build something very special for you, and we have to trust each other. But we give also trust to our customers, our clients outside, and we are looking really for perfection as well. That means we want to produce really good, high quality, or high standard materials for you, and this is really a value for us to give you a perfect material. And of course, we want to create. We don't have just ideas. We want to realize those kind of ideas too. So you're working really hard with really good diligence as well. And we have a lot of innovations. During the presentation, I will show you a few of them. They're really nice as well. And of course, we have a kind of responsibility, not just for our customers, also for the people who use the materials and our workflows. This is in the end, not just the customers, they are also the patients. So, and here in that valley is also based the knowledge is come from. Because we have in that valley built up a lot of education center, not just our headquarters and production centers. We have also a lot of education centers here in that valley. I want to tell you later on the difference of this kind of education centers as well. And of course, we have education center around the world, not only in Germany or in Spain or Mexico. We have also now a new education center in America and Canada. So we cover almost the entire world, and our idea is, in the end, to teach you, with our knowledge, because it's really important. It's not just you want to sell products, it's really important to know how to use the products and in the end to have a really good result. That's why we will teach you in different education centers. Why different education centers? We don't have just ordinary education center with a table and a white walls around and we make some presentations. No, those education centers have a special flair, a special theme. Yeah. So of course our main education center is our laboratory Steger here in Brunico, and more inside the valley you can find different education centers with different themes. For example, we have our Zirkonzahn Forge. It's a relatively new education center at the moment. We give there our special events with new customers. And of course, we have other education things like the Ranger School. This is a really special course program. Usually our course programs, they have a duration from almost a week, and but this special Ranger School program is not just a week program. That's a program for 3 months. So it means younger technicians, they are able to come to us and stay for 3 months at the Ranger School. They live there and they sleep there in tent, and they have to cook by their own vegetarian food. And well, also really a kind of challenge is they have just about €8 to live, or to use the money for a day. So it's quite hard to buy food and prepare the food. And also really special is that those kind of participants, they grew together, they learned together in that time. And also not only we give them the whole education program, the knowledge about the materials or the software. Well, they have to do also a lot of sports. So they have to wake up in the morning like 6 o'clock, and then they have to do morning sport, and then during the day they have the courses. And similar is it with the military school. It's also kind of military style, of course. And here's just a 1 week program. The same with the safari school. But the safari school is most for, I would say, older technicians. So they don't have to do that kind of much sport anymore. One of our latest education center is the forest school. This is really inside the valley. I would say the last small area of this valley. Behind this kind of education center, you can find already the border to Austria. So it's very close, very inside the valley. But this kind of education center is very special because it's an old house of a farmer. And well, Zirkonzahn rebuilt this whole house, and well, you are able to find a really typical environment inside, as you can see on the pictures, with a chair and all the things around, like the stove. It's quite really nice. And also the participants, they have kind of the special program after the courses. They have to do, for example, together butter or like that. It's a really nice program as well. So Helden Campus is, our Heroes Campus is a really special program in this way, that we just do this program once a year or maybe twice a year, and not each customer or participant can come to this course. No, the people will be chosen from our boss Enrico Steger himself, because he has the idea to choose those people. They reach a lot in their period of business, and they just need a time out to concentrate to our or to their dental workflows, and they just to concentrate and build their full arch bridges and make porcelain layering and all those things. And actually, the latest education center is our Clinique de Medici. This is a dental clinic with 3 patient chairs. And the idea is that the patient and the dentist and the dental technician are able to come together to this program, to this course, and learn together how to do, for example, minimal invasive veneers or implant cases or whatever. We have a fully equipment, or a fully clinic with all the equipments you can imagine. And also we come to you. That means we have a mobile laboratory with mobile tables with integrated computers. where we can show you and your city how to use the software, to just get in touch with it, to understand how it works. Well, it's a kind of nice solution. I have a video now for you about the education centers. Enjoy. Okay, a few words about the company. The company Zirkonzahn is founded in 2003. So we are kind of a young company, but we are now almost over 300 employees from around 11, 12 different nations. And the founder called Enrico Steger, and his son Julian Steger is now cooperating with him. And both of them, they are dental technicians with a master degree as well. So they have dental technician and dental background, and we're collaborating with them very well to invent new materials and new technologies. So of course we are exporting in 80 different countries worldwide, and we have 50 different partners to collaborate with them, to work with them. And and we have the education centers around the world, over the globus, as I explained to you. And a short video about the company, and then we'll explain a little bit more.
Zirkonzahn, how may I help you?
So that's Zirkonzahn. Everything is under one roof. What does it mean everything has to be under one roof? That means that we are producing everything by our own. So we don't have other companies, they are producing for us, for example, the materials or some parts of our machines. No, everything is created and produced here in-house. So we have different production centers here in our valley, for example, to produce our resin blanks or zirconia materials. And of course, we are also one of the biggest implant companies around the world at the moment. So we are producing and selling over 100 implant systems worldwide, and this is very huge, with a very huge accuracy as well. And not only milling materials and machines we are producing, no, only also the components, the accessories, like burrs and tools, or other materials like porcelain and stains. And of course, as I told you, also all the machines and scanners and furnaces, everything will be produced here in our valley. So we have everything under control, and we are able to control the quality as well, to give you the best product you can receive. And of course, we invest a lot of time and money to produce our own software. And we have also a part of for dentists as well, for example, to get a better patient analyzing. We have those tools as well. And what is really important to say, not only the education part is one of the biggest component of Zirkonzahn, no, also the support we are able to give to you. This is really important for us to not just to sell the products and then you leave you alone with those products. I mean, you have to know how to use, so you come to our education center and learn how to use, but if you have any problems like with the software or hardware, you can reach us anytime and we will help you immediately. And also really special is, in my opinion, really special is that you get support as a dental technician or a laboratory support. That means if you have any questions about a case, like how to do a tooth setup, or you're not sure if the stability is good enough for a nanostructure, then you can call us and we will help you with those problems. So now I will speak about materials. Of course, we have a lot of materials. We are one of the biggest producers for materials as well, and everything is produced here in-house too. Not just, we have a huge spectrum of resins, for short-term restorations or for long-term restorations. We have also a special resin with a multi-layer effect, our multi-stratum flexible, and we are well known for our zirconia products as well. As you know, like 15 years ago, we started to sell our ice zirconia, and after that we sold our Preto2 zirconia. Well, those are really famous zirconia, and like 5 years ago, we invented the Preto2. That's a kind of high translucent material, or zirconia. The benefit of that instead of Preto, for example, is that I have a high translucency. So I can use it for anterior restorations, for example. But the disadvantage is a kind of the flexible strength is lower compared to the Preto. The benefit of Preto is the high flexible strength, but the translucency is lower. And also in this kind, the Preto material should use also porcelain to make it more aesthetic, more nicer. And then we thought, okay, we have to do something new. We have to produce something new, and we thought to use the benefit of Preto and the benefit of Preto anterior, and we combined them. So we created now the Preto2 material. That's a high translucency material with a really high flexible strength. So we can cover almost all indications with this kind of material. And the other benefit is you can use it as a monolithic restoration as well. So it's not necessary anymore to use porcelain. What we invented as well is a dispersive material called Preto2 Dispersive. It's a little bit confusing why we named it dispersive. Let me explain it in this way. As you know, it does exist multi-layer products in the market, but in this kind of products, it's not really nice to see those kind of different layers of colors, and we just invented a new technology to make a layer or a zirconia with different colors, but the colors are going inside each other, and this kind of effect called dispersive. So we have a really nice smooth layer effect of the colors. And the same material or the same effects you can get also for the Preto2. It's called Preto2 Dispersive. So only a few words about the translucency of these materials or those materials. Imagine you have a glass of milk, and the milk get not through the light, so it's 100% opaque. And let's think you have a glass of water, and the water of course is transparent, so you can see right through. And we mixed the milk and the water in a special balance together, and in the end we got a 50% of translucency. And this kind of translucency you can find then in our different materials, like the Preto2 has almost 40% translucency, then the Preto 30%, you see it's a little bit more opaque, and then the Preto2, the Preto4 has a higher translucency till 60%. Okay, you can see now the P3, the Preto3 material. I don't explain that material right now because it does exist now, not on the market. We will bring it out to the market, I guess, end this year. And of course we have then also different resins as well to cover a lot of indications. So we have resins for short-term restorations or a longer term. We have also materials with a multi-layer effect. So for example, the multistratum flexible. And the multistratum flexible is a special resin. That's not a PMMA material, that is a polycarbonate material. So it's a really robust material. And also we have also resins, they are transparent, for bite splints or for surgery guides, for example. What is new is the Resiton gingiva. This is a new denture material. It's coming out soon, so you're able to mill dentures or denture bases as well. And we have different features or special materials like the X-ray material. This is an X-ray opaque material to get a kind of reference scan during the X-rays, for example. Or we have also a blank called screw blank. You see you can mill out individual screws with an outer thread. The idea behind is that you don't close the screw channel of a screw retained restoration with composite anymore. No, we are able to mill inside the zirconia restoration, the screw retained zirconia restoration, a inner thread, and after inserting this restoration onto the implants or screwing onto the implants, you don't use composite. No, you use those individual screws. You screw them in by hand, you cut the rest off, and you polish the surface. It's very, very aesthetic. We have also a special extractor, a special tool to extract the this kind of screw as well. And we have also different burnout materials or wax as well. And this high polymer called also PEAK in our material overview called it got a little bit different. We have one technomade material. This kind of PEAK material is made for friction retained restoration, so you can use it as a friction coping or a friction sleeve. And we have this kind of technomade with mineral particles inside to get it more stronger, more stable for understructures, for example. And we have for the technomade mineral 3 different colors. That's white, tissue, and dentin color. And of course we have a lot of metals as well, not only chrome cobalt, we have also the sinter metal or titanium material. And what is really special too, we have raw abutments. Those are kind of cylinders made in titanium, and they have the connection of the implants already pre-milled from our machines. So what you do, you just design a custom abutment and you mill this abutment out from this small raw abutment cylinder. We have also non-invasive solutions. This kind of a solution you will learn during the staying in our clinic in Medici, for example, yeah, for a nice and new rehabilitation process. For example, here in the shape of an anatomic bite splint. As you can see, the patient has lost a lot of vertical dimension because he's a really strong bruxer. He is not really clever to start with the final restoration, or with the final restoration, because then the patient might get also problems in the condyles, or he gets really problems because the vertical dimension will be opened a lot. So that's why it's better to have a rehabilitation protocol here in the shape of an anatomic bite splint. And this bite splint will be snapped onto the teeth and can be also removed, very easy to clean it. Yeah. In the end, this kind of bite splint called also snap-on smile. And really nice is that snap-on smile is milled in a multi-stratum flexible, so that means in our multi-layered resin polycarbonate material for a longer time. And it's really, really comfy to use. It's kind of unbreakable as well. And the patient can wear that for a longer time to adapt the new situation, the new vertical dimension or occlusion patterns very well. As you can see, it's milled very thin. It's milled until 0.1 millimeter thin on certain points. And also you can mill very thin the borders around. Yeah, and you get no fractures, or it will not break or anything like that. What we have new as well is that the non-invasive solution with veneers. And those veneers, they are not made of lithium disilicate or like that. No, they are milled in zirconia. So we are able, and that you can learn in our clinic, we are able to mill or to create veneers in zirconia, mill them in zirconia, and we can mill them until 0.2 millimeters thin. Very, very thin. And this kind of example here, we used the Preto2 Dispersive. So the pre-shaded material with different layers of colors. We have also a special protocol to glue those veneers onto the natural teeth. And this is the final product. Of course, there's some superficial stainings, and of course, glaze is onto the surface as well. Well, then we have also monolithic solutions, also in combination with the Preto2 and Preto2 Dispersive. Here, for example, a bridge screw retained on implants. The teeth at all, they are monolithic, they are not reduced, they will not be layered with porcelain at all. Here we made some infiltrations with our color liquids, so we get a nice effect, like a bluish effect in the incisor area. And what we do, we leave the teeth as they are, we just make a superficial staining maybe, and the gingiva will be layered with porcelain. In the future we have also another solution to add a kind of gingiva paste, as a kind of porcelain gingiva paste, so you will save also time with the gingiva layering as well. Everything is glazed and 100% monolithic in the teeth area. And that gives me also the benefit that I get no breaks or kind of chipping at the porcelain. Then we come to a solution like if you have a screw retained Preto bridge, like as you can see on the picture, and you can see a part of the titanium base is looking through, or is looking through out of the gingiva, or a bar milled in titanium, you are able to see a little bit of this bar. You can use our anodizer device to change the color of the titanium. You can change it in all spectral colors like red or yellow, blue, or whatever. In the end, to reduce the grayish color of the titanium. And also really a benefit is if you have an anterior crown and the material of the crown is very thin and you are able to see underneath, or the titanium base is looking through the zirconia, then you can reduce the grayish value of the titanium if you use the anodizing process and make the titanium base, for example, in yellow color. Then I will speak about the CAD/CAM systems. And well, we are since 10 years on the market with our own CAD/CAM systems. We invented our scanners and milling machines. In the last 2 years, we invented 2 additional scanners. I will start from the left side, the S300 scanner. I will call it as a baby scanner. But only baby, or I name it only baby scanner because it looks really, really thin and slim. But the difference compared to the other scanners is that it's an open scanner. Open scanner means you don't have a door to close the scan chamber. What is not really a disadvantage? You get a really good quality. You have a really good scan quality also with an open scanner. The scanner has 2 cameras. Also here you are able to fix any kind of articulators that exist on Earth, no problem at all. And well, the scan speed is also very fast. Then we come to the S600 RT scanner. This scanner compared to S300 is similar at the technology. So we have also 2 cameras. But the most difference is here that we have a box around, like a chamber around with a door to protect the scan chamber for dust and artificial light or the sunlight is coming out from. That's going in from. And well, also here the scan speed is very well because we are working with a 3.0 USB cable, so the data transfer is very fast. Also here you can fix any kind of articulator devices too. What is the only difference to the S900 is that we have a 3rd additional camera. This camera is attached at the front of the scanner, so it can reach much better the undercuts of the model, for example, or if you scan impressions, yeah, so you don't scan the physical model itself, no, you scan the impressions, then you can reach with the 3rd camera very well the undercuts too. Well, the S900 also, we have a little bigger scan field and a scan depth because of the 3rd camera is a bit better as well. And then we come to the milling machines. Milling machines, we have our compact line. That means it's a very small table milling machine. It's called M1. This M1 milling machine is a multifunctional milling machine. We have just one orbit, and a spindle, a Jaeger spindle from Switzerland is a very strong spindle to cut all kind of materials, not only zirconia or resins or wax, wood too. No, of course you can mill metal materials like titanium or chrome cobalt without any problems. And also this machine can mill with water or without water. So you have any kind of solutions inside this kind of small milling machines. If somebody needs a milling machine because he needs a higher production machine, then we have the M4 milling unit, M4 wet heavy metal milling unit. It's a slightly bigger milling machine, almost twice as the size of the M1. Here the benefit is that we have a bigger orbit where you can fix 4 material blocks at the same time. So then you can mill, for example, overnight each block out. Yeah, and also this kind of big orbit allows me to fix other holders holders for Emacs or raw abutments in it and combine them with each other. Also here you are able to mill with water or without water, without any problems. What is quite new, we presented this machine last year at the IDS in Cologne, the M2 and the M2 Dual. This is the latest innovation from us, and this machine are standalone machines in this way that we integrated the computer. So it means you don't need any more extra computer as you need for the M1 or M4. No, everything is built in and will be controlled by a touch panel. Yeah? And also here for the M2 we have one orbit, but we have a separate area where you can fix more tools, and you have also a tool changer as well. It's a really nice gadget. And the M2 Dual is, compared to the M2, only different because there is one milling chamber more. So in the end you have the milling chambers, wet and dry, separated from each other. And you have a bigger magazine slots too. And also here we have a built-in computer too. So, and what is quite new is this this kind of blank repositioner for the orbit. That extra accessory does exist only for the M2 and M2 Dual. What is the idea behind? For some reasons you need to get out a unfinished milled product. Yeah? For example, if you use our latest technology of double milling for immediate loading processes, then you should have this kind of opportunity to take out a not finished restoration and bring them back in a correct position with this kind of orbit holder. And then to finish your restoration. This orbit allows me to repositioning the orbit ring in a very high accuracy. And also for our German watchers or clients, they use it very often also for their telescopic cases too. As I explained to you at the beginning, we are also a producer of software and components. So we are able to, or we invented years ago our Face Hunter. That's a 3D facial scanner to create 180 degrees scans of the patient's face. This is how it looks. I will explain you later a little bit more in detail how this device works and how we can use it. Well, and we are able also to use any kind of intra-order scans in our software. We are a open software, so you're able to import any kind of original data formats from like 3Shapes or Artero or Trios datas. And also, of course, obviously, you are able to import the universal data format like STL without any problems. Here we use the Carestream scanner. Carestream scanner is very easy to use, very handy. You can scan everything without problems, also in color. And well, this we use for our digital workflow. And if I have this kind of situation where I work only in a digital way, of course I need to have a possibility to receive, to print or to mill a physical model from an intra-order scan. So that's why we have also a special model maker tool to create any kind of model solutions, like a separated model with pins or implant models with implant analogs, and so on and so on. That's an overview about our updater, our software. So as you can see below, those are our software we have at the moment. This is the archive, scan, modelier, modifier, implant planner, nesting and milling software. What is the benefit of the archive software? Our archive software is completely reinvented. We integrated a nice management tool for the data. The archive software, you have to imagine, is a software to save all necessary data of the patient and of your client, and select already this teeth area with special functions like to create a crown or a bridge or implant screw retained crown and so on. And then we go over to our scan software. Our scan software allows me to scan, of course, to control our scanner hardware, and we are able to combine all necessary informations. Like we're able to load intraoral scans in it, like in STL format, or you are able to scan physical models. You can place any kind of individual informations like planes or midlines or 2D pictures. You can align them onto a 3D model, for example. And of course, with our facial scanner, the Face Hunter, you are allowed to make 3D facial scans as well. And who needs DICOM data converted in STL can load them inside our scan software as well, because a lot of customers, they prefer to mount their models regarding the X-rays, yeah, with the condyle information, etc. That's why we have a digital articulation as well. And we have a special tool. I will explain you later a little bit, kind of transferring process. Because if you use just a digital workflow, may you want to continue to work manually, analog, in the physical articulator. And to bring all those model informations back in the physical articulator in the correct position, we have a really kind of clever solution for that. And of course, in our scan software, you are able to choose articulators from a huge list. So we implemented almost all articulators that exist on Earth. Here, another picture of individual planes we can place. 2D pictures, of course. Here, picture of a DICOM data, like an X-ray converted in STL. We use it very, very often to align the patient data into the articulator correctly. The modular software is a designing software, a cut software to design any kind of dental restorations. We start from the crown or bridge, implant solutions, bite splints, eggshells, and so on and so on. So this is a really multifunctional cut software. And if you're finished with the designing of the restoration, you go over to the nesting software. And the nesting software allows me to place the final product in a virtual material blank, any kind. And the nesting software is also calculating the milling informations, the milling street for the milling machine. Yeah, that's why you go over to the milling machine right now, so the Zirkonzahn Fräsen. The word Fräsen means milling in English. And our milling software is new as well since last year, and it's a really new invented surface. We have a lot of functions, you can see them in it. And what we have new is the implant planner software. It's an invention of Zirkonzahn to plan implants or implant positions, and you are able to combine or to use any kind of data formats during this kind of planning process. So you can load open DICOM data, any kind in it, also intraoral scans, model scans. You can find a huge list, a huge library of implant systems with the prosthetic type as well, like the titanium base, the parallel one, the conical, all the multi-units one. Yeah, and you can able also let show and display also the scan bodies, so you can transfer those informations immediately back in the CAD software to create a provisional restoration, for example. And this software is also multifunctional, so that means you are able to create, after the planning process, a surgical guide or an individual impression tray as well. Yeah. What is coming in the future is a bone reduction guide, and we have a lot of cool ideas to present them in the future. Here, as I told you, we are able to import any kind of open DICOM data and also STL. You are able to convert the DICOM data in STL format and export them to use, for example, in the scan software. And of course, you are able to import any STL or intraoral scan phase data and create then afterwards the surgery guide or impression trace too. And our own cut software invention called Modifier. The Modifier software is an additional cut tool to the Modeler software. Because you're not able to find any solution, any function into the Modeler software. That's why we thought we invented an additional one to bring some extra features in it, like you are able to use a very intelligent tooth setup tool. This tooth setup tool allows you to make a tooth setup with just one click. Yeah. So what do you want more? I mean, to spend 2 or 3 hours to make a full arch tooth setup in the upper or lower, nobody wants that anymore. And of course, we invented also special functions like to create a full denture after that. We reinvented the 3D articulator completely, so we make now more movements like a 360-degree movement. And what you can do as well is you are able to import specific data like from the Zebras device or our plane analyzer device. Those are devices to record the mandible motions. Very benefit for that is because I can export those movements as a 3D movement and import it into the Modifier software and use them to create individual occlusion patterns. Yeah? So then the restoration feels in the mouth very comfortable because of this individual occlusion patterns. It's more stable and you will prevent also to break your restoration too. You are able to create a step-on smile, alias a mock-up, also a mock-up model. And we invented also a new orthodontic module to create aligners, bite splint aligners, yeah, to move teeth in a new position. Here, very easy to extract the teeth digitally and place them manually in a correct position. And afterwards you can calculate the different steps with different models and bite splints immediately. And we have an individual tray module as well. Well, and then we come directly to our special digital workflow. We invented this special workflow for you. So the workflow, the steps are very easy. We start every time with the intraoral scanner to get a working base, like the upper and lower jaw. And then we go over straight to the plane system and face hunter. So with the plane system, you are able to transfer the individual maxillar position into the articulator device in the physical or in the digital one. So that means it's a kind of digital face bow. And with the face hunter, obviously you can make 3D facial scans. The plane analyzer device allows you to record the mandible motions, yeah, to have analyzing of the movements and create this 3D movements for the Modifier software. The articulator, you're able to choose any kind of articulator in our system to work with to do those movements. The jaw positioner is that kind of instrument, to transfer the digital model position into the physical articulator, as you can see at the next page. And well, then you control the complete work into the physical articulator, you adjust the occlusion or so on. Intraoral scanner, here it's scanned with the Carestream scanner. As I told you, this is our working base, it's very important to start with. And then we have the different devices like for the aesthetics, we use the plane finder and the face hunter. And for the function, we use the articulator device, like the digital articulator, and together with the plane analyzer device. A few words about the plane system. The plane finder itself, as I told you, is a kind of phasebow, but it works differently. So what we did, we don't attach this device at the patient's head. No, it will stay onto the floor, and we attach, as you can see, a mirror onto it. So why a mirror? Because we use a special reference, the natural head position, to register the maxillar position and transfer it into the articulator device. How does it work? The patient steps inside the plane finder, look themselves into the mirror in their eyes. In this moment, the patient takes their own natural posture and head position. And the head position, and of course, aligns my maxilla as well. Usually the maxilla is attached at the skull. And well, with the additional device, the face hunter, this device, we are allowed now to transfer the special head position into our scan software, into our software. And of course, I can do 3D facial scans with this device as well. I come later to it. Let's imagine we have now the intraoral scans and the facial scan as single objects. But the thing is, or the question is, how to bring those different objects together. Intraoral scans has to be placed in a correct position into the 3D facial scans, right? So how we can do that? We need a special device like this fork, as you can see on the picture, our digital fork to register intraoral scans into the 3D facial scans. The fork has a kind of plateau where you can squeeze silicone on it, and the front has a sticker with scan markers on it. And the patient takes the fork into the mouth, and we make a 3D facial scan from this position on. And then we scan the whole fork. Yeah, so the patient has it in the mouth. Then we make a 3D facial scan. And then we scan the whole fork with our desktop scanner, with our normal scanner. So that means that the impression you receive into the silicon from the upper jaw and the scan markers in the front, and via an automatic matching process in the background, the software will match now the intraoral scans onto the fork and the fork with the intraoral scans into the 3D facial scan. So then we receive the perfect position of the maxillar mandibular into the 3D facial scan. It's a very unique process. Okay, and then we come to the function. Yeah, so we use the articulator here displayed as a physical articulator, and of course we have the possibility to choose any kind of digital articulator as well. In combination with that, we use the plane analyzer. The plane analyzer tool is the plane analyzer device is a tool to register the motions, the mandible motions. As you can see in the picture, we have a specific protocol like protrusion, lateral protrusion, left, right, and mouth open. And after those kind of movements, we are allowed to receive a kind of report of those movements, and we are able to check if those movements will show some dysfunctions, like small problems into the condyles or like that. And well, or we are able to record the movements as chewing as well and use them later into our designing software to create the individual occlusion patterns. For now, I prepared a case for you, a snap-on smile case. So for here, I selected in the archive a upper and lower jaw, and I choose in my scan software, obviously our PS1 articulator from Zirkonzahn. And as you know, we work mostly digitally, so I import intraoral scans, and also I am able to import the 3D facial scans and all the informations I need, like also with smiling, as you can see here on the picture, or with mouth open. Those are different scans. And what I can do, I can also add this kind of plane. What is this plane? Where this plane is coming from? So what is this plane? The answer of this question This plane is a individual and virtual occlusion plane. Other question, why I need that and where is this coming from? This is coming from, you need this plane to make a very accurate tooth setup. Where is coming from? This is coming from the plane system, from the plane finder. And now we come to the clue, because the plane finder is not only a device to transfer the maxillar position into the articulator, no, we are able also to reproduce the missing or a wrong occlusion plane. And this is a very huge benefit of it. So we are able to measure some references with the plane finder and reproduce in the end the missing occlusion plane, and that will be displayed as this kind of plate or plane you are able to see now onto the picture. Yeah, this is an individual virtual occlusion plane to reproduce the missing or wrong occlusion. So if I have those informations, I can start, for example, in our modifier software to make a tooth placement, a tooth setup. Obviously, I can use the articulator in combination with that as well. I'm able to modify the articulator with any kind of inserts, or I can program the articulator with the angulation of the lateral protrusion, or the condyle angulation, and so on. Yeah, as you can see here, everything is now nice under control and programmed. And later on, I choose only the tooth shape I want to use as a to make the tooth setup, and I place them in the correct position. Here I have only this example with the incisors. If you would have a full arch, yeah, like from molar to molar, those teeth will be placed then automatically onto this plate. This occlusion plate will be placed in position in the correct occlusion and aesthetic position as well. So you don't have to use time anymore, like 2 or 3 hours to make a tooth setup, a proper tooth setup. Well, and what we invented in this CAD software as well is a phase animation. The phase animation is a dynamic movement of more than one 3D scan you made with a facial with our face hunter. Well, the first thing is you have to mark the lips, so the areas around the mouth, yeah, and now the software will calculate between 3 different 3D facial scans now a dynamic movement. Yeah, so we have now inside, as you can see, inside the mouth, we have placed in the correct position the intraoral scans. We place the virtual teeth in the correct position, and we have also a kind of split screen, a multi-view. That means we have a part of 3D view and a part of 2D view to work on both with to make a nicer and faster tooth placement. Yeah? So if I move in a 2D view a tooth, you will see the movement or the placement immediately in real time into your 3D window. Here is another separation. So we have 2 3D windows. Here again another example of a multi-view. Okay, and we integrated also a golden proportion tool as well to align the teeth in very good axis and angulation and the width, for example. And here you will see this is the motion, this is the movement with the facial scan animation. It's a very, very nice tool because then you can see the result. You have directly a feedback how the new teeth look into the patient's mouth, and you are able to work immediately into the patient's mouth. This is a very, very huge benefit. Okay, after that, we just block, or we decide to make a snap-on smile. So the first step for that process is to block out the models. To block out means all the undercuts, as you can see here in red. So we define a kind of insertion axis from the view, and then we do that also for the lower jaw, and Then we draw a margin around the teeth, yeah, around the tooth setup. To get a better grip, so I included also the posterior area a little bit, yeah, the posterior teeth. And for the lower jaw, we decided to make an eggshell. Yeah, this is what you can see here. Those are not placed virtual teeth in position, no. The software will use the actual tooth shape, the natural tooth shape. You just draw around the margin and those teeth will be extracted as a snap-on smile or as an eggshell. So this is the final snap-on smile in the upper jaw. And of course, obviously you can use a freeform tool as well to modify the morphology. You can add or remove material, you can smooth the areas and so on. Then we control the movements, like the dynamic movements, and we cut the intrusions away. And then, actually, this is a really nice picture to see. If you use Articulator and the dynamic movement, like the movements of the Articulator, the modifier software will calculate this kind of movement result. Yeah, as you can see, a little bit strange as a model, but those are the occlusion patterns are calculated after the Articulator. So you can create very smooth occlusion patterns. Yeah, this is the final result as a step-on smile and as an eggshell in the lower jaw. And you're allowed to mill that immediately in a resin material like the multi-stratum flexible, the multi-layered polycarbonate material. Or if you like, you can mill it also in chrome cobalt as a grill, to use it as a grill. I'm just kidding. Okay, you can see here we are able to mill that until 0.2 millimeters thin. It's a very, very, very thin alternity or solution, and also our milling machine or materials, they are able to handle that. So, and in that sense, only a few words to you. Better is to stand out in the crowd, yeah. Be something special, do something special. I have shown you a lot of things from Zirkonzahn, and we are not standing still. We are inventing every time something new. We are down, we are keen for it, we have the motivation for it to invent something new, and we are really proud to bring the new technology to you.